What's up, you guys? Welcome back to our backyard garden. Today is a super windy day here in Amarillo. As for most days, it is perhaps the most windiest city that I live or been to. Yeah, but this gives me the perfect opportunity. Well, first, before we begin, I don't know if my camera is able to pick up my voice. I'm speaking very loudly, so maybe you guys can. But yeah, perfect opportunity today to shred pine bark. I will show you guys how I go about shredding the majority of my pine bark. Okay, you guys? So stay tuned and you will learn a ton on how you can go about doing it, especially on a low budget. Okay, you guys, before we get started on shredding our pine bark, let me first begin by saying do this at your own risk. Okay, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. You just got to be smart and yeah, use common sense. Okay, so pine bark, as gardener, we love to use pine bark as mulch and as ingredient in our potting mix. Okay, most container fruit trees, berries, whatever, they incorporate a lot of wood chips, and the most popular ones to me are pine bark, especially for blueberries. Yeah, I love blueberries, so pine bark is definitely a must amendment for my potting mix. So I go through a lot of bags of pine bark and I shred them so many bags throughout the months. Okay, I lost count honestly, but the number one machine, the only tool that I use is this bazooka of a a leaf blower right here. It has a dual function though. It's a blower and a vacuum mulch designed for leaves and little grass clippings, right? So it is not intended for wood chips. Pine bark is the only thing that it can shred. Okay, if you use any regular wood chips, it will destroy this for sure. Pine bark is something that can be shredded because its dry form is very brittle. Okay, so this right here can shred it easily, but you got to buy the right one. What I mean is, look for something that has a metal impeller. Okay, a metal blade. If it has a plastic blade, it won't last that long. So this right here is like Hyper Tough from Walmart. Yes, I think I got it a year or so ago for about $40 something. Right now it might be $50 something due to inflation, I bet. But this tool has shred over, well, almost 100 pine bark bags. Of course, it has tape is beating. Look, I got duct tape wrapped around where some of the harder pieces broke through. Okay, this, if it was metal, it would be perfect, but it is cheap. We are on a budget. These are plastic, so it will slowly break down after time. Okay, also the only damage that I see after all those months and uses is that this plastic shroud lip right here is breaking apart, so finer particles are able to escape. Okay, but it still works. It still works wonderfully. Let's get into talking about the pine bark and which one you should use. Okay, because it is important. Okay, it's getting super windy, but there's a reason why I want to do this today and demonstrate to you guys, because it gets very dusty, okay, doing this. But first, let's talk about the pine bark that I recommend that you use. This is the only one available to me, so I can only recommend this. These purple pine bark mulch. They come in 2 sizes. One is nugget, and one is this version, which is a much smaller version. Now, depending on the store, not all bags are created equal, okay? Some have bigger pieces, some are well composted it down enough already. Yeah, so I will show you guys what I mean. Let's open this bag. Show you guys the typical size, okay? Okay. Can you guys see? The majority of the pine bark are about an inch and a half in diameter. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me make sure the camera is picking this up. Okay, guys. Here's a better view of the pine bark. As you can see, they break very easily. Okay. So, see, that is why the vacuum mulcher will work perfectly for the job. But the thing is, you got to be smart, because what are these? These are definitely not pine bark. These are regular wood from I don't know what kind of tree, but you got to shift it by hand, okay, and remove the majority excuse me, of hardwood that is not pine bark, because they will create problems for you. Also, make sure that the bark you use are very dry or not wet, okay? Because anything that is wet is hard to be shredded, right? So use some common sense and take your time. Go through the pine bark with your hands and remove these bigger chunks that is not pine bark. Yes, you will miss some, but the smaller ones, they'll be okay. It's the bigger ones that will wreak havoc on the tool, okay? And it can sound very, very frightening. So that is what I will do. And as you guys can see, all these, not pine bark, must be removed. All right? We can begin. But first, before we continue any further, make sure you have some eye protection, okay? And definitely a face mask. Okay? Eye protection, face mask, some jeans, because it can get quite loud and scary down there. So Okay guys, that was in real time, and I basically mulched and shredded 80% of the pile already in that time alone. Let me show you guys what it looked like shredded. Look at that, you guys. You see that? This is pine bark gold. Look at that, you guys. Okay? From these bigger to medium pieces to finer, smaller pine bark. You guys see that? In just a minute or two, the majority of the pine bark has been shredded. So, let's go over about how I go about doing it, okay? As you can see from the video, I tilted at an angle, okay? I tilted this. And when I hear that it's, stuck in the chamber, I shake it. I shake it a little to get it down to be shredded. Now, occasionally, once a while, it will be jammed in here. So all you gotta do is turn it off, just like what I did, and dump it out, okay? Then turn it back on and repeat the process. Let it shred a little bit at a time, and once it's done shredding, then continue to suck up more pine bark. That's all to it, guys. That is how I shred all of my pine bark. Very easy, very cheap. If you are on a budget, this is perfect. Now, I don't know if you can see, but it was quite dusty, okay? Because the seal on this is not as good as before. It has been through many uses, so it is to be expected, but it still shred the pine bark and still resourceful in its effectiveness. Okay, you guys? Yeah, this what, $40–50. I've been using it for almost 2 years. Almost 100 bags of pine bark. I should go treat myself and go buy another one, okay? Because brand new, oh, that's amazing. Not that much dust. And this bag, man, it collects all the pine bark so easily. It's an easy job. Just be sure to wear masks, safety glasses, and some jeans, and maybe some earplugs, because it get quite loud. So there you have it, you guys. I've been wanting to publish this video for a while. Finally get the chance to. I just been too busy preparing the garden for spring. Spring is here. If you need to shred a lot of pine bark, then at your home backyard gardener, this is what I would recommend. If you have the money, then yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more better tool to be purchased and used. But I don't want to be wasting too much money on that, okay? Because this works perfectly fine. It is rugged, but it works. So for anyone that is watching this video and have a better method, please share it with the community. I really want to know if there's another method that is faster, or I'm not sure being cheaper, but around $100 or so. Please leave a comment down below if you have any tips or suggestions. So thank you for watching, you guys. Get to shredding pine bark. I love pine bark, right? We all do. So see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. More videos coming soon. It's gonna be a busy season. Stay healthy and stay blessed, you guys. Grow what you want to eat, and especially what you want to eat. Hopefully this video is super useful for you guys. Oh shoot, it's raining. It's raining. But yeah, you guys, I just got done in time. Shredded all the pine bark. Time to go.